gone back and looked at some tape. Just give me your impressions on what happened.
Well, that was a good old-fashioned take you out behind the woodshed butt kicking in the first half. It's 2 years in a row that they've put up 69 points on us in the first half, and we've put up zero. And we simply can't start football games that way and expect to be successful.
You guys have been in every game this season. You guys have been in tight football games. What did you see this coming at all, or what kind of what happened?
Well, a couple things. It's hard to pinpoint a lot of it. I'm sure not having Brendan Meyer in there was
Yeah.
a first part of it. He makes a lot of the things that we go. We couldn't get off the field on third down on defense in the first half, and we couldn't stay on the field in the first half on third down. So, turnovers again were something that hurt us. And we just couldn't get things going until the second half on either side of the football. I will say this much to him, though, not to be negative Nelly the whole time, but at halftime you're down 34-0, and you go out and you challenge them, put your foot in the ground, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about the score, and nobody's going to care if feel sorry for you. So go out there and represent what we do and how we play. And they came out and performed well in the second half, but just too little too late.
You touched on obviously being without Brennan. What is his status for you going forward?
Yeah, it's going to be a pain tolerance thing. He's week to week, so we're seeing how things are going right now. We have a bye week coming up as well after this game. So, we're going to see how things pan out.
With him being gone, you start with Rich Dossakal, then Jaden Kiefner gets in and plays as well. Jaden, 5'9", 76 yards passing, was able to run for 83 and a couple of touchdowns there in the fourth quarter. What did you see from the two quarterbacks, and how are you feeling about that position going forward?
Sure. We're still going to keep, they both bring things to the table. I think thinking that Jaden can't throw the ball's a mistake too. I think he proved that on moving the ball down the field with some deep shots, but they both bring something a little bit different to the table. We're going to continue to use both if Brennan's not ready, and we're going to scheme up and do what we got to do.
Defensively, as you said, after that rough first half, you put a 0 on the board in the second half. And as you said, you kind of challenged him a little bit at halftime. What was the biggest thing that changed?
A little bit it was eye discipline. I think they did a good job, and hats off to Maine. They did a good job in the first half scheming some things up to get some matchups that they wanted, and they took advantage of them. And we had hoped we could have limited those plays to explosives instead of big plays. But we made those adjustments. Got us in a little bit different coverages in the second half that provided us the ability to support the run a little bit better. And like I said, I think we got off the field on third down. That was the big thing for us in the second half.
You kind of made a reference to it, but the big plays certainly were a factor in the first half. The 66-yard slant right out of the gate, the long punt return, and then the pass to the back for 64 yards, where they just sort of missed assignment type plays.
Yeah, they were. There were lack of eye discipline type deals, and given who we play this week, it's coming up here. That's going to play a big role. And it was just getting back to the basics. It was keeping your eyes on where they're supposed to be at the snap of the football instead of trying to make somebody else's play. And just that calming down part in the second half is what led to our success, I think, on that side of the ball.
Over the last couple of years, I think everybody was aware of the type of player Michael Oddie was, but he's been battling injuries now. To see him healthy, 4 tackles for loss in that game and a sack. Just talk maybe about what his impact has been this season, having him on that defensive line all year.
Sure. I mean, we are no doubtably a different and better defense when he's in the ball game. With the stats that go unseen are the amount of times he's been held this year. That's something that that in my mind's a pretty good tackle for a loss right there when they got to go back 10 more yards. So he's really really presented some fits for some guys up front. It's really going to force teams to evaluate what they do scheme wise in terms of their double teams and things like that, because he's just that cat quick and definitely is playing at the level that we hoped he would play.
Look ahead to Friday night, a game under the lights at Bryant against Brown. You heard Coach Fleming talk about them. I know that's a game that's certainly important to you and as an in-state game. Just talk about some of the challenges that Brown presents for you.
Sure. I mean, they are a typical Brown team. I think in watching their game last week that it surprised me too as well. I know that Jim's going to get that righted, but you know, they present a lot of challenges for you. They do a really good job with their scheme. Offensively, they are going to test your eye discipline. They're going to lull you to sleep. They'll run 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, and then they'll pop something out and get big plays on us. So we're going to have to play like the second half team against Maine that we were. We're going to have to maintain strict eye discipline of defensively against their offense. Quarterback is solid. They've got a bunch of blue collar guys, and they're going to try to out tough us.
How important is this game to your program being an in-state game?
It's an extremely large game. We're trying to keep on to this contract and have all three teams in the state of Rhode Island play each other. I think that's how it should be. But Bryant, old Bryant's the old little brother of the state, right? So program's only been Division I for 13, 14 years, and we're trying to get the seat at the big boy table. That's been our mentality, and we're going to make sure that we represent the Bulldogs the right way.
Does the Friday night game at home excite you, or how did that all come about?
Takes me back to my high school days now. I mean, yeah, it does. It's holiday weekend. We could have played on Saturday, but we could have probably made all the checks from the sidelines just by yelling it, because a holiday weekend, there's not a lot of fans there. So we thought we'd try something on Friday night. It is a little bit of a short week. I echo what Jim just said about their preparation, and it's something that poses a little bit of a challenge for us. But at this point in the season, we are what we are, and we do what we do, and we just have to get better at executing it.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for the time this morning. Good luck on Friday night, and look forward to talking next week.
Thank you.
All right.